Why do you have nipples? If you're a man, the answer seems to be absolutely no reason at all. But did you know that male mice, stallions, and even male platypuses are actually more evolved than human men in this one weird way? They exit the womb completely smooth, with no nipples or mammary tissue to be found. Meanwhile, every human man carries around two small, seemingly useless bumps that serve as a permanent reminder of a biological why not.
It's one of nature's strangest mysteries. Why would evolution keep a feature in half the population that serves no function? And even more confusingly, why is there such a massive variety in how they look? Nipples come in all shapes, colors, and sizes, from the tiny and flat to the large and protruding. Most people assume these differences are just random genetic lottery results. But scientists have recently discovered that the size and shape of your nipples might actually be breaking the most fundamental rules of evolutionary biology.
To understand why your nipples look the way they do, we have to travel back to when you were only 3 weeks old. At that stage, you weren't even a he or a she yet. You were a tiny embryo developing two parallel ridges of skin called milk lines. These lines run from your armpits all the way down to your groin. In most mammals, like dogs or pigs, nipples sprout all along these lines. But in humans, these lines usually recede, leaving behind just two spots on the chest. Because nipples start forming before your sex-determining genes even kick in, men are essentially built with the plumbing for a system they'll never use. This embryonic head start is so powerful that even though the male hormone, testosterone, eventually tries to shut things down, it's too late to get rid of the nipples themselves. Evolution simply decided that the energy required to delete them wasn't worth the effort.
But if they're just leftover parts, why is the variety so intense?
In a healthy population, the average nipple is about 1.3 centimeters in diameter, roughly the size of a ladybug. However, this is far from a universal standard. Global studies show that geography and ethnicity play a massive role. For instance, women from Southeast Asia often have smaller average sizes, while women from the USA, Brazil, and Nigeria frequently have larger measurements. Then there's the question of shape. Your nipples can be protruding, which is the most common, but they can also be flat, puffy, or even inverted, tucking inward like they're shy. In fact, 10% to 20% of the population has flat or inverted nipples. For most, this is just a harmless anatomical quirk you were born with. Your nipples even have their own bodyguards, called Montgomery glands. These are the tiny bumps on your areola that secrete a special oil to prevent chafing and, incredibly, produce a unique scent that acts like a GPS to guide a newborn baby to its first meal.
The diversity doesn't stop at 2. About 1 in every 40 people is part of the triple Nipple Club, born with a third or even a fourth nipple. Celebrities like Harry Styles and Mark Wahlberg have famously confirmed they have extra nipples. These supernumerary nipples usually show up right along those ancient embryonic milk lines we mentioned earlier. Sometimes they look like a fully formed nipple, but most of the time they're mistaken for a simple mole or birthmark. There's also the rare and strange phenomenon of male lactation. Because men have the basic mammary infrastructure, under extreme conditions like severe starvation, hormonal imbalances, or certain medications, men can actually produce milk that is chemically almost identical to a mother's. In the Aka tribe of Central Africa, fathers have even been documented offering their nipples to soothe crying infants, a level of dedicated parenting that blurs the lines of traditional biology. But here is where the science takes a mind-blown turn. There is a long-standing rule in evolutionary biology: use it or lose it.
This theory suggests that if a body part is functional and vital for survival, like the female nipple for feeding, evolution should hone it to perfection, resulting in very little variation within the species. Conversely, useless parts, like the male nipple, should have tons of random variation because they don't really matter for survival. In 2018, researchers at the University of Queensland decided to test this by measuring the nipples of dozens of men and women. They expected the male nipples to be all over the place and the female nipples to be uniform and precise. Instead, they found the exact opposite. Female nipples actually showed more variation in size and shape than male nipples. This discovery completely flipped the script. It suggests that our understanding of functionality and evolutionary selection might be totally wrong. Female nipples are highly functional, yet they are more diverse than almost any other human feature, proving that nature actually loves variety, even in its most essential tools. So, what does your nipple actually say about you? Beyond being a unique marker of your heritage and your personal developmental journey in the womb, they are a testament to the fact that humans are not perfectly engineered machines. We are a collection of ancient blueprints, evolutionary holdovers, and biological experiments. Your nipple size and shape aren't just random. They are a direct challenge to the rules of science, proving that being standard isn't the goal of evolution. Being unique is. Next time you look in the mirror, remember that those tiny bumps are carrying a scent-guided navigation system, a 400-million-year-old embryonic map, and a biological mystery that still has the world's top scientists scratching their heads. Now, we want to hear from you. If you could press a button and delete all the useless vestigial parts of the human body, like male nipples or wisdom teeth, to become a more efficient human, would you do it? Or do you think these quirks are what make us human? Let us know in the comments below.